Evening everyone. So I'm going to show you how to use the acrylic skins that I sell in the album. I've had a couple of people ask, what do we do with them? Well, here's just a couple of examples. I'm going to choose this grey and white one and I'm going to put it in this bezel, which you can get from Sharon Brown, not to be confused with me because I'm Sharon Kerr and she's Sharon Brown. So I'm going to mark out where I want it. I've decided it's going to be about there, and the way I do it is I make a really strong indent. I pick it up, I push it really firmly so that there's a nice imprint on there for me to cut as a marker. It's really worth the time and effort to push down really hard to really get that mark in there, because it's a bit like memory foam. It will go back to its original setting quite quickly, so the shallower the dent, the quicker it will go back to its original setting. So take it off and then cut. If you aren't entirely sure where the dent was, perhaps cut larger than you think it was so that you've got some room to just sort of tidy up afterwards. So we'll just see if that is about right. I think it's slightly off. Just there. You can use a scalpel if you're allowed to use sharp equipment. I am banned from using scalpels when I'm alone in the house because I cut myself and I faint. I faint when I cut myself. I'm such a baby. So I'm not allowed to use the scalpel, but that would be much easier. So I'm just going to give myself a little indent there again. And then cut it quickly before I lose that dent. Okay, marvellous. Okay, so step one is using the dam tape that Sharon Brown stocks. Just cut a little bit off. Pop it on something, then pop your bezel down and push down. This tape that Sharon Brown sells is really good. It really helps with stopping leakage. Now I'm going to use UV resin. You don't have to use UV resin, you can use normal resin, but you'll have to do it in stages, i.e. pour a little bit, let it set, then do the next stage and so on. So UV resin is much quicker. If it was daytime, then I could leave this in the sun if I don't have a UV lamp. There is 10 minutes in the sun will cure UV resin. So you don't have to have a UV lamp if you don't want one or don't have the money to spend on one or don't know which one's the best one to get. The best one to get is the sun. Natural sunlight cures UV resin beautifully. It doesn't leave a sticky surface. So I quite often do this kind of thing in the daytime. I'm going to give it a little spritz of alcohol because it's got a few bubbles. And then I'm going to pop that in my UV lamp. So I'll just pop that in there. I don't tend to have my UV lamp next to where I work because I always forget to turn it off and then everything sets when I'm not ready for it to. So while that's setting over there, I have this little offcut here. And both sides are really pretty. What you can do is you can put the bezel over. If you use an open bezel like these, you can put them over sections and sort of decide whether or not you like them. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for that. So again, press down, pick it up, press it in. You can't press it too hard, you just keep on pressing. And then when you've got your shape, you can cut. So I didn't cut it perfectly again. I normally do take a bit longer, but I'm conscious of the fact that you guys are watching. And again, I would usually use my scalpel, but I am quite reluctant to do it when I'm on my own. Okay, so that's the other one. So again, we get our dam tape, cut a little bit, pop it on something and press down. And then get our UV resin. Don't like that, that's not laying flush. Doesn't need to be a thick layer at this point, because it is just a back layer. Pushing it all the way to the sides. If you notice bubbles, you can tap it. Okay, so we'll get the other one out. And we'll put the other one in. Okay, so we've got our piece of acrylic there. And we're just going to use our fingers to begin with to place it. It will be a little bit slippery. This is where you might find that you need to trim it. My advice before you do any cutting is to hold it up to the light and see if anything comes through. You don't want any gaps. So we'll push that down there and then take it off, give it a little cut. You really want to push it down. And then we'll hold it up again to the light. What's happened there? Get a bit better light on this. That's better. I can actually see now. Okay. There we go. So we're going to put our UV resin, spritz of alcohol, move it around. I personally don't use wood in resin because I find it causes more bubbles. So we're going to do this in layers. So we'll get the other one out and we will put this one in. Bubble. I see a bubble. Okay. We've got our square. Now then, which way do you want it? Like that. Like that. Oh, that's nice. We'll do it that way. Just like before. Pop it in. Push it down. That one's pretty. Hold it up to the light. No gaps. I'm going to push it down at the edges so that it doesn't lift up. And you might as well take the time to do it. If you're going to do it, spend the time on it. Okay. UV resin. And then we'll take the other one out and put this one in. So this one should be, yeah, that's set. So we'll do another layer. I like to dome my pieces. I don't like them too flat. I like them to have a kind of domed effect. So you may not do as many layers as me. Just hold that up. Okay, pop that one in. So the other one is still setting as well. So they can set together for a couple of seconds. Tiny little bit of housework. Put your lid back on your UV resin, especially if you're in daylight or if you're near the lamp, because otherwise all of this gets clogged up and then it's an absolute bugger to put the lids on properly afterwards. You're constantly peeling off dried resin. Wipe your little sticks, reuse everything.
no single use for anything at all. Toothpicks, just reuse them and reuse them and reuse them till they break. Right, let's have a look at the red one. So here's the red one, and that's going to need another layer. And then I hold it up, look at it from angles, check I'm happy with it. There's something there. Wow, that was it. It was a bubble. Got it. Oh, something, yeah, there's something in there. I thought there was something there. And I got it. I don't even see that. Tiny little glob of dried resin fell in there. That's why it's important to lift it up and look at it from all sorts of angles. Do I want to do another layer? Do I? No. No, let's not. No, we'll just leave that as it is. So that is now done in theory. I'll take the back off. So that's what the back looks like, which is fine because, you know, we're not going to be showing off the back. If you wanted to, you could put a top coat of resin on the back, although I would wait because the front might still be a little bit tacky if you've used the lamp. If you've used sunlight, it'll be dry within 10 minutes, but I wouldn't risk it really. So that might be a job for tomorrow. But look what we just made in, what, 5-10 minutes? There's that. And then I'm going to do one more layer on this one. Okay, that doesn't need any alcohol. That's got no bubbles. I might as well put that one near the lamp again. So I'm going to wipe down my UV resin bottle and pop the lid on, put that away in a nice dark place. And save these offcuts because I might be able to do something with them at another time. So they can go in the little pot. They will stick to themselves, so if you are going to keep offcuts, kind of keep them either laid out on a silicone mat or baking paper or some little plastic bags, for example.
so that they don't get all stuck to each other. And just have a little tidy up while I'm waiting for those last bits to dry. Use that. We use this. We use everything. Let's have a look. Right, let's take oh, that's warm. Note to self, I don't think we should put that in a UV lamp. That's quite warm. Didn't realise it would react like that. So there's that one, and the back of that one looks like that. And I will definitely put a top coat on that, because that's quite pretty as well. So there we go. We have made 2 pendants from acrylic skin, and I would go as far as to say that they are unique because there wasn't another piece exactly like that. There wasn't another piece exactly like that. And you will be creating one-of-a-kind items with the acrylic skins. If you do want to use the acrylic skins and you're nervous about using them or don't really know how to use them, the best way to use them, or want any tips, I am more than happy to help you. Just get in touch.